This is something you don't see every day. US President Joe Biden has posted a message on social media congratulating his rival, former US President Donald Trump. The Republican candidate posted this message on Truth Social. "It's my great honour to be at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach tonight, awards night, to receive the Club Championship Trophy and the Senior Club Championship Trophy. I won both. A large and golfing talented membership, a great and difficult course made the play very exciting. The qualifying and match play was amazing. A large and distinguished group will be there tonight. Very exciting. Thank you." President Joe Biden shared the post on X with the message, "Congratulations, Donald. Quite the accomplishment." Now, the internet is flooded with reaction to this post. Many have picked up on the fact that the president may be poking fun at Donald Trump. One user wrote on X, "Is this real life?" Another wrote, "Wait, is he giving himself trophies?" And another posted, "This is everything. Good job, Joe Biden." But others have jumped to Donald Trump's defence and taken aim at the president. One user wrote, "Joe, what day is it? What country do you live in? And how old are you?" Another posted, "Joe Biden just got back from another vacation. Biden is the laziest president in US history." Meanwhile, President Joe Biden is leading Donald Trump in several polls, but only by a few percentage points.
Much of the polling they've seen this year had Joe Biden losing by a couple of points. Now there's 8 nationwide polls out that have Biden winning by a little bit. Again, you and I have talked many times before about national polls in this country. Since we elect people state by state, you don't really pay that close attention to them, but they can show momentum. And clearly, Joe Biden is doing better now than he was 6 or 8 weeks ago. And right now, the Biden team will take all the victories they can get.
So if Donald Trump wins, what's the state that delivers him the victory, do you think?
The states it'll come down to, if you're looking ahead, if you're making plans to watch on election night 2024, the states to be watching for will be Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. It's the same 6 states. It changes every couple of decades. It used to be Ohio and Florida. Now those are reliably Republican. Virginia used to be Republican. Now it's reliably Democrat. But right now, the 6 states that sort of will pick the winner are those 6. So if you're sort of looking down the road, or if you're looking at polling right now, instead of looking at nationwide polls, you'd be looking at polling in those 6 states where Donald Trump is still holding a very slight lead over Joe Biden.
Okay, and what are people voting on? What's driving them? I imagine the cost of living crisis sweeping America is something that occupies voters' minds daily, and they'd be looking to whichever leader is going to deliver them a little bit of relief, right?
Yes and no. The issues here are the same as they are anywhere, right? I mean, the issues there in Australia are typically going to be the economy first, second, and third, and maybe immigration or other policies after that. But it's the economy, and here maybe immigration second. The reason that Joe Biden is doing better on those points is not really that his policies are any different than they were 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. It was the speech. You and I talked about the State of the Union speech.
Yeah.
It was a really good speech, Laura, and importantly, it was the one speech a year that people who don't follow politics still watch. So he was able to talk to non-political sort of voters, people who don't pay very close attention. And it was a good speech. So I think these are the first polls now that you're seeing, these ones that have Biden winning a little bit. Those are the first polls we've seen that have come out entirely after the State of the Union speech. So clearly he got a bump from a good speech, as every politician hopes to get.
Yeah, and things might just work out for Joe Biden in the economy as well. The cycle, we're looking at the interest rate cycle. It's starting to come down. The Federal Reserve, might start cutting rates, before November. Would that have a big effect on his vote?
Not a big effect. Keep in mind, Laura, politicians worldwide know this. The economy doesn't translate into votes right away.
Yeah.
People don't feel bad on Monday, then go shopping on Tuesday and feel better and change their vote. He's probably got to do something by this summer. Inflation here is still sort of hanging around. The Federal Reserve had a meeting this week and said they were still planning on cutting rates, which would be good for Joe Biden, but they're not doing it right now. So typically speaking as a former politician, Joe Biden has to see this economy turn around dramatically by the summertime, June or July, maybe August. It's going to have an impact on the election.
Yeah, I might just miss him. Finally, let's talk about Donald Trump's legal woes. I can't keep up, I got to be honest. Is that still hurting him, not hurting him? Is it helping him in some pockets?
You know, I saw a pollster, a friend of mine, one of the most famous pollsters in the country this week, give a speech and says it looks like Donald Trump is going to have his assets seized by the state of New York because of the judgment against him in New York, because of his inability to raise the bond necessary to during his appeal, that they might literally slap a lock on the front door of Trump Tower in New York City. I'm not making that up. And no, it sounds bizarre, but that actually could happen. And what the pollster said was that would probably be at least worth 5 or 6 points to Donald Trump in a national election. It would make him continue to look like a victim. So we're really sort of in an alternate universe here in the United States right now, where losing a case, losing $500 million, then having your assets seized help you politically. But it looks like that might be the way it works out.
That was Frank, I take it?
That was Frank Luntz, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what does he think? What's his prediction at this point?
Flip a coin right now. Look, it's going to go back and forth right now, Laura. You've seen this in the polling. Even the polling right now that was good for Joe Biden is very close. Even the polling that was good for Donald Trump 3 or 4 weeks ago was very close. The country is very evenly divided, and they're not going to come together. This is going to be a back and forth race throughout the entire spring and summer. Both of these candidates are able of sticking their feet deep in their mouths. So you could always have somebody make a big mistake late. It's going to make for some compelling television and watching for the politicos amongst us.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, that was a compelling dinner we had in the midterms with you and Frank Luntz. And he was spot on then, and closely follow what he and you say in the lead up to November. Mick, thanks so much. We'll check in with you soon.